So losing someone that we love is extremely difficult, but what makes the problem harder sometimes is how difficult we find it to talk about grief, to talk about that person that we've lost, but also the people that surround us, the people around us that find it so difficult to know what to say when we are struggling with grief. And I know because I've been there. I've had to deal with grief in my life, and grief can come in many different forms, whether it's the fact that we've lost someone close to us, or whether it's the fact that we've lost a sense of ourselves, or we've lost someone through ill health. Grief takes many forms and it's extremely individual. But the one that stands out for me the most is when I lost my dad 13 years ago. My dad was 45 years old. I was 18 years old when it happened. And I sadly lost my dad to suicide, which was an extremely difficult grief to deal with. But I'm very open and honest about that experience now. And the purpose of this video is to hopefully show you that it's okay to talk about our grief. It's okay to talk about the pain that we feel about the person that we've lost. And what I want to show you is this right here. It's a red book to a lot of you, but actually it's a really important way that I am managing the grief and the loss of my dad right now, even though it's been 13 years and you can't put a timeline on grief. Let me explain what this is. As I say, to all of you, it's just a red tattered book that is extremely old. And as I open it up, you can see, I think this was probably me when I was younger, but you've actually then got some stains, but also my dad's handwriting. My dad was an avid runner and he used to write down every run that he did, every training session, every race, everything that he did. He was an incredible runner. Like his times were sometimes a lot quicker than this, but you can see a 5K run there, 16:52. He was a very, very good and quick runner. And at the same time, if I come to the back page, you can see that my dad started to write down some of my progression. It didn't last long, but at the same time, when I was 14 years old, he started to write down some of the times that I was running. When I was 15 years old, the same thing. And then it stopped because I went back to play football. My dad always wanted me to run. And this is an important part of today's video, because when we lose the person close to us that we love, and when we lose that person, we often shy away from the things that we used to enjoy with that individual. And I used to love running with my dad. Think about some of the fondest memories of my dad. It was when we were out running together. Seeing him run every day and have that, determination to get better and to improve was a really important lesson that I learned. But when he first passed, I was like, right, I'm going to get back into running, because I want to sort of challenge my dad's times and I know he'll be proud of me when I get back to running. But then I stopped and I never run for a huge amount of time. It was only until recently, about a year ago, when I started to train and get back to training specifically for the 8 marathons in 8 days that I did back in October, that I started to really realize the love of running again and actually not feel guilty for doing it and remember my dad in a good way when I was doing it. And what I want to do in this video is talk you through a couple of ways that I've managed grief, and that's just one of them. So firstly, what am I going to do? Go for a run. First things first, gonna make sure I get the workout in. Today is some of these efforts on this beautiful track. So just me out here on my own today, gonna get the workout in, head over to another gym, which is gonna be the place where hopefully I can have time to jump in the sauna, have a shower, get ready, get dressed there, grab a coffee, and then hit the road, ready to head to the place where I'm going to be delivering today's in-person talk. So firstly, let's get the workout done. There we go. Morning run, morning workout done. That one was tough. Intervals this morning. So basically non-stop around the track, but different timings. So a minute and a half at a certain pace. Float for another pace, minute and a half, and then we do minutes, then we do 30 seconds, and we do 15 seconds. So overall, if I look at my watch, an average pace of 6
49-minute miles, and then I did about sort of just over 6 miles around the track. So good workout in about 40 minutes, even though you didn't see any of it whatsoever. But I just want to take the camera and walk around the lap once, just to sort of cool down a little bit more. The sun is completely in my eyes, but we're in the UK and you cannot complain when the sun is out. But as you've seen already from that book, you know, my dad was an avid runner, a keen runner, a very good runner, and he's the reason why I've got a bit of a running bug at the moment, because I'd like to get quite close to some of his times, even though they were very, very quick. And obviously back in October I run the 8 marathons in 8 days. I'm in 8 cities for young people's mental health, and since then it's kind of, I don't know, running is something I used to do with my dad, right? And when you lose people, you often forget to do the things that you used to do with those individuals, because sometimes it's too emotional, right? Sometimes it's too hard, too painful. But I've always found running to be, however cheesy or strange this sounds, a way of feeling quite close to my dad. You know, it was times where we used to go out together and we would run and we would talk and we would, you know, connect. You know, it was I don't know, there's always like really fun memories of me and my dad running together. In fact, like this track here, it's quite again a sentimental track. When I was at school, I used to run, you know, at the districts, athletics, whatever it was, and I remember he'd come and watch, and I remember literally this railing here, I don't know if you can see it, I remember my dad vividly standing there, and as I was coming around this stretch, he'd, come on Paul, and then he would run around the railing, so he would literally follow it around to the home straight. There was no stadium then there. This track wasn't that good, and yeah, he would like just cheer me along. And even when I'm running around today, I can still remember those moments, right? And there's been times where I've remembered those moments, I've got emotional, I've got upset, felt angry. But when you move forward from grief rather than moving on with grief, I think of those moments now and I smile, right? I'm happy. It was an incredible experience to have a dad like that. And you know, I'm very fortunate I had an incredible mum, I had incredible parents. You have to look at the positive sometimes. It's very difficult to do, but you have to try and focus on the positive. If you're struggling to move forward from grief from someone that you've lost, try and get back to doing some of the things that you used to do together. Try and smile in those moments, be grateful in those moments, think back in a positive way in those moments, rather than feeling sorrow and sadness because that person's no longer with us. You know, we've had some incredible memories with these people, right? It's the reason why we're struggling with grief. It's the reason why we're sad. It's the reason why we're emotional. So let's just try and find those little moments that we used to do together and do it, but still have them in our minds as well. Enough rambling. I'm now gonna go cool down a little bit more, and then we're gonna go get a shower, jump in the car, and then head to the talk that I'm gonna be delivering today. See you soon.
Take the first exit.
Okay, just arrived. Took me about 2 hours to get here. Just gonna go. I've got an hour until my talk, so cutting it averagely fine, but an hour is plenty of time to set up, say hello to the people that I need to say hello to, do the talk. Then I'm gonna have some lunch there, and then I'm gonna stay here at the hotel because I've got some more work to do. I've got another session to do, and then I'm gonna head back in time for a meeting with Aaron and co for Enemy 2. So today's a busy day, but I'm looking forward to delivering a session in person for I did one at the end of last year, but I haven't done one like this for a long time. So looking forward to it, a little bit nervous, but let's go and tell them the story of losing my dad and how we can sometimes turn adversity into positives. Let's go. Life is always so much simpler and nicer when the sun's out, right? Back in the office now, back home, and managed to get home in time to do the nighttime routine. So I mean, saying I did the nighttime routine, I was just the guy that sweeped up and said, hey, night, and managed to have a little chat with Teddy before he went to bed, and then Freddie has just gone to bed now. But it's 9 o'clock, I've just finished up my meeting. And before I shut off for the night, because I'm extremely exhausted after today, I wanted to share one lesson with you. And it was something that someone said to me when I was eating lunch after the presentation today. And it's very relevant to this video. Someone came up to me when I was eating my lunch and tapped me on the shoulder and said, I just want to let you know your dad will be proud of you. Your dad will be proud of you for standing up there today and sharing what you've just shared. And it happens, right? It's happened before. And sometimes I don't let it sink in. But as I was sat here after that meeting and thinking about what can I share, I let it sink in. And if I'm honest with you, I got a little bit emotional because I want to make him proud. We want to make the people that we have lost proud, right? I remember as soon as I lost him, I was like, right, I want to make him proud. I want to do this, I want to do that. And I want to make him proud, and I do hope that he is proud. But the only way that I will ever know if he is proud is by being proud of myself. What I mean by that is I wish that he would be sat here right now next to me saying, I'm really proud of you for what you're doing. But I will never have that. I will never have that opportunity, right? And we will never have that opportunity. So I need to be proud within myself of the work that I'm doing. And I don't do that enough. I honestly can sit here and say that for the last 5 or 6 years of me being very open and honest about my dad's experience, his legacy lives on. I'm sure he, through the words that I say, has helped so many people that have been suffering in silence and struggling with their mental health. I honestly believe that. But if you've lost someone, you want to make them proud, right? But the only way that we can make them proud in reality is for us to be proud of ourselves, for us to pat ourselves on the back sometimes, no matter what we've done, and just said, you know what? We're doing the best. We are carrying on through life without this individual here. We are dealing with the grief, the emotions that come with that. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for, you sitting there right now, getting through everything that you have to get through because of the loss of this individual. So, I do hope my dad's proud. I will never have the ability for him to tell me that. My mum tells me she's proud of me loads, and I really appreciate that. But I have to be proud of myself for me to know that my dad's proud of me. And hopefully you can learn something from that as well.